Sorry we got cut off. So this first one right here is pretty ugly. We'll start with that, and then we'll end with the second one, which is a little nicer. So we have to factor this one. What we're going to start with, if you wanted to look for a common factor, there's not going to be one because 2, 3, and 9 don't have anything that we can pull out like in common. So there's a couple other methods, but probably what I would do at this point is 2 times 9, which is 18, and then see what multiplies to, 2 times negative 9, which is negative 18. See what multiplies to negative 18 and then adds to 3. The answer to that is positive 6 and negative 3. So what we would do is go 2x squared minus 3x plus 6x minus 9. Then we put these first two and the last two into parentheses and pull out whatever common factors that we can. In the first one, what we can pull out is an x. So we'll pull an x out front, and we're left with 2x minus 3 on the inside. The second piece, what we can pull out is a 3, and that's a positive 3, and we're left with 2x minus 3 on the inside. So this is perfect because what we need is these two to match. So since those two match, we'll put the other two into a set of parentheses on their own, and we would get x plus 3 times 2x minus 3, and that still equals 0. So this is all for part A. Part B says find the zeros. So what we'll do in this one is we'll set both of these chunks, because of the zero product property, set both of those chunks equal to 0. And solve for x. So we minus 3 on this one, and we get x equals negative 3. And then solve for x on this one, so we'd add 3, chunga chunga, 2x equals 3, divide by 2, chunga chunga, x is 3 over 2 is like 1.5. It's just a little bit easier to graph, because on part C, we need to sketch the graph of the quadratic equation. So when we sketch this, what we're gonna do is take our two solutions. So x is negative 3. We're going to step backwards 3. And then 1.5. So we're going to go up 1.5. Since the coefficient of our original polynomial is positive, that means we have a smiley face, like an opening up parabola. So it looks like this. All right, next one is a little bit easier. On the next one, when we look at this, 4x squared plus 12x, in terms of variables, we can pull out an x from both, and in terms of numbers, we can pull out a 4. So we're left with 4x out front, and then inside we have x plus 3. Both of those pieces equal 0. So this is part A. Part B over here, we set both of those equal to 0. 4x equals 0, and or x plus 3 equals 0. To solve, you divide by 4 on both sides, chunga chunga, x is 0. Over here, subtract 3, chunga chunga, x is negative 3. When we graph this one, we're going to say x equals 0 is right here in the middle, and then negative 3, negative 3. Again, the coefficient at the very beginning, the original polynomial, is positive, so we're going to open up like this. I'm not too concerned about where the vertex is. I'm not really concerned about this area right now, just more graphing the solutions. And then the last one, we're going to take this graph and we're going to put it into a couple different forms. So first it says, write an equation of this parabola in factored form. So factored means use these. We started with a negative 1, so in the equation it's going to be a plus 1. And the solution here is a positive 1, so in the equation it's going to be x minus 5. Sorry, it's a positive 5, so it's going to be x minus 5. And those are going to equal y. Part B says write an equation of this parabola in vertex form. So vertex form means use the vertex. So what we'll do is we'll go y equals, and I will tell you that a in this one I'll tell you that a is 1. we're not going to worry about scale factor either right now, just more putting these coordinates into the vertex form. So A is 1. What we're going to end up with is y equals x minus the h is 2. So since this is a positive 2, inside it's going to be minus 2. And then this one's normal, so it's going to be minus 9 on the end. So that's our vertex form. Then it says take the equation in part B and convert it into general form. So part B is this equation. So what we really have to do is FOIL x minus 2 times x minus 2. This squared means there's 2 of them. And then we have minus 9 on the end. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. So we get x squared minus 4x plus 4. And then we still have this minus 9 to carry down. When you combine that, it becomes x squared minus 4x minus 5. So here's our general form. Fun fact, if you had FOILed the original in red up top, negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. So we end up with x squared minus 4x minus 5. It's the exact same equation we just found right here. So it doesn't matter which you use to write in general form, you'll get the same solution. And that's also another way to check if you're correct or not. So now you guys have an assignment, worksheet 7.2. You guys can do all of those. The front side's a little bit more difficult than the back side, but if you need help, just come to task for help, okay?